United Kingdom, I forget her name, spoke about it. This is the safe zone, Al-Mawasi safe zone, that Israelis are supposed to go. Let me just take the stuff out here.
We are currently in the western part of Rafah, in the Mawasi area. This is the third wave of airstrikes committed by the Israeli forces in less than 48 hours. Displaced Palestinians came to this area after the Israeli military designated it a safe humanitarian zone. Thousands flocked to the area and put up tents for shelter. How many of your family members have been killed?
My mother and father, the most precious thing in my life. I lost a piece of my heart. What do the Israelis want from us? Haven't they had enough? Haven't they got weary? I wish I was killed. I wish I can join them. What is life to me now? I will live in pain and agony, grieving over my family all my life. It would have been better if I was killed with them.
The Israelis claimed that Rafah was safe.
We were warned to leave to Nusayrat, and we did. To Deir al-Balah, and we did. And the same to Rafah. Where is that safety? There is no safe inch in the entire Gaza Strip. Displacement is not a picnic. It is nothing but pain and agony.
What is your message to the world?
I wish all those responsible will go through the same agony, taste the same bitterness, feel the same pain we experienced.
Dozens of civilians were killed and dozens more injured and taken to the makeshift hospitals put up west of Rafah. Shock and disbelief is overwhelmingly visible on the faces of all those in Rafah. The airstrikes carried out by the Israeli warplanes were intense.
Most of those killed were women and children. Children were always playing here. They were all torn to pieces, body parts scattered all over the place. Women and innocent children. There is no safe place in the entire strip. The victim families were displaced from Al-Shati area in Gaza City. It wasn't the first time to be forced to move.
As is clearly noticeable, there is no safe inch in the entire Gaza Strip. Displaced people's tents are showered not only by missiles from drones and warplanes, but also artillery shells from the land and warships from the sea. The Israeli airstrikes are intensifying, targeting mainly displaced civilians.
Ashraf Abu Amra, Al Jazeera, Mawasi Rafah.
So that was you're paralyzed with a sense of, what do you do? And at the same time, angered. That was at the Al-Mawasi camp. The Al-Mawasi, the Al-Mawasi area, whatever it's called, it was always designated a safe zone by Israel. They always talk about going to the Rafah, and then when they are told, well, how are you going to bomb Rafah? Where do you go? Then they speak about the Al-Mawasi refugee area, or the Al-Mawasi area, which is supposed to be a particular safe zone. And this is a lady. I think this is the scumbag that is on your government's payroll. Here's it here. Here we are. I'm gonna share this. This is a lady that speaks about where are we? Let me just try and get this. Let me try and expand this and try and get this here. We are. I'm gonna share the screen. Present. Share screen. And that's your Israeli ambassador. I keep on forgetting her name. Here we are.
Humanitarian crisis in Gaza this morning.
There is no humanitarian crisis because
there isn't.
There is no. Israel is in charge of the safety of the Israelis. Hamas is in charge of the safety of the Palestinians.
We've been showing pictures this morning that would illustrate that there is a humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Are you a mother?
Yes.
What would you think if your children would have been executed in front of your eyes, would you expect your government to think about those Nazis committing those crimes and to say,
You see, this is what we call this. We call this projection. The same thing that you're accusing. This is exactly what Israel is doing. She asks her, "Are you a mother? Are you a mother? What would you expect your government to do or your people to do if your children are being executed in front of your eyes?" Well, that's what Israel is doing.
Expect your government to think about those Nazis committing those crimes and to say, wait a second, first of all, we need to protect the enemy, and then to protect my children. Your children come as priority to your prime minister.
So
do you know that?
We have been showing images this morning that illustrate that there is a humanitarian crisis in Rafah.
So blame Hamas and ask Hamas why they started those atrocities, walking
So
around.
you acknowledge that there is a humanitarian crisis?
I'm saying there is no. Israel is working.
So what do you think is happening?
What is happening? There is a war in Gaza, a war that Hamas started by committing a horrible massacre on innocent Israelis. The world have seen it. I've seen that. Wait a second.
Innocent civilians.
Just I want to say and give a little bit of a context. Those people created crimes that are worse than ISIS.
That's basically the crimes that are being committed by Israel now, worse than ISIS. Because we know those beheaded baby stories was a myth. The mass rape was a myth. The burning of Israeli civilians was a myth. Israel is burning Palestinians, and Israel burnt their own Israelis, invoking the Hannibal Directive when they blew up the various kibbutzes on the day of the 7th of October.
When the Americans started this fight of ISIS, together with the coalition forces, over 100,000.
So this is not the clip that I wanted to show, but there is a clip where she speaks